Everybody, it's Friday night, which means it's time for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Tonight is episode 8, Best Laid Plans. Real quick, if you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the notification, because I do reviews 2 or 3 times a week, either TV shows like Star Trek, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I was doing Runaways for a while, sometimes the occasional movie, so click on, stay notified. Let's carry on. So just as confusing as last week was with all the timey-wimey, and we had Robin Hinton predicting the future and was going back and forth and back and forth. This story is not so much, but we got three and a half, 2.5 plot lines going at the same time. We've got Coulson and the gang still in the Zephyr trying to get it flying. We've now switching back to this episode with Yo-Yo, Mac, and Flint trying to take on. I'm probably going to keep saying his name wrong all the time. I think it's Cassius or Cassius. I'll say Cassius. You know, the blue guy, the Kree guy in charge. If it's spelled K-A-S-I-U-S, I'm going to say Cassius or Cassius. So basically, we're bouncing for the next 45 minutes. We're going to bounce around. This is not going to be 45 minutes, but the episode was 45 minutes of us bouncing around between Coulson and the gang trying to get the Zephyr up in the air with Mac and Yo-Yo and Flint now fighting back against Cassius. The humans were revolting. They found the cache. They got the guns. Everybody's armed and ready. There's Kree hunter teams out. They're going around, checking the corners. Nope, they get blasted by the humans. Gets back to Cassius. Goes back to Cassius. He's like, what? They got guns? So that's one storyline. Back and forth, back and forth. If you don't give up, we're going to blow up the place. Mac and Yo-Yo are just like, hey guys, come on. We got to fight and we're going to take on the bad guy. So that's going on the planet. On the Zephyr, the gang's just really trying hard to get the Zephyr off of the ground. So Daisy's fixing up the. That was funny too. Daisy looked like she was just holding an Ethernet card in her hand, but she's like with a screwdriver. No, I'll get the communications up. Don't you worry, sir. So everybody's doing something. May's gonna getting ready to fly. Fitzsimmons is trying to figure out how the engines work, and I did notice that a previous episode they did show it in the previously flashback at the beginning of this episode that everything. The reason there's gravity on the space station is there's gravitonium, which if I think far enough back, I think it was first brought up in, I just was watching the older episode, season 1, but that was the big story of season 1. The guy created gravitonium. I'm half thinking too, because they said the Earth got destroyed, and they're blaming, Daisy/Quake, the destroyer of worlds. And I half thought again too, I thought, wait a minute, maybe something went wrong with the gravitonium somewhere, because, last week we saw there was an alternate from the gang didn't get picked up in the diner, as I said last week, and they had this timeline, which is totally different from the timeline we're dealing with in the story. So maybe what had happened was, because in this episode, Fitzsimmons finds out, there's a little cache of gravitonium that is powering the Zephyr, and because it's the first time them seeing it in this timeline, they're going like, wait a minute, this is here already. The Zephyr crashed like 80 years ago. So, when the timeline split, maybe Fitz said, oh no, I had a theory about flying a ship using gravitonium as a power source. So maybe he did perfect it because it's on the ship now. And he also half thought too, maybe there's some kind of weird, paradoxical time loop where, well, maybe we did develop this and we didn't went back, but we came back again, but we went this way, And we've seen this in Star Trek too with Janeway. I think when they went back in time, and it's happened before too with the Bozeman Next Generation, where you get Kelsey Grammer is doing loops in his ship. So yeah, you got those timey-wimey stuff going on again. And my theory was that maybe a stockpile of gravitonium somewhere else, and somebody got onto it, and maybe we will see that down the road. Slight spoiler: Tess does come back to life because Cassius says, "Give me the doctor, and we'll work on this," and brings her back to life, and she ends up being his messenger, saying, if you don't bring back Flint and the kids, he's going to blow up everything. So how the heck is he going to blow something up? So Mac's going like, and Mac's a mechanic, right? So he always knows how to fix things. So they start snooping around the different, power panels and fuse boxes and stuff, and they dig behind something. It's like, oh, wow. They find all these bombs are planted everywhere. So there's another twist. So yeah, so they figure out a plan. Okay, maybe we're going to do what Cassius wants us to do. Maybe we got our own plan. Meanwhile, in the Zephyr, we got the Zephyr up in the air. We got to get out of here, and we got to save the day with the Zephyr. Definitely an episode to go see. I don't want to go into too many details, but actually this was finally an enjoyable episode. Other than Max, I think Max is written to be whiny because he's always like, "Oh, Flint, you can't go doing this," and Yo-Yo's like, "No, no, no, we got to fight the blue guy, and I don't care what you say, and you behave yourself." And there's always this back and forth all the time. But I swear, Mac has got to be the whiniest Shield agent I've ever met. I don't like again. I'm not going to spoil this one too much. Other than I told you about Tess coming back to life, which was kind of cool, but that was part of the plot line. But the whole time is, does Cassius have our heroes? No, our heroes have got Cassius. No, there's a twist around the tag at the end. When you come back and find out what's happening, and it's like somebody says to Cassius, "How do you know?" "Oh, I have something." They have something. I have something. Lots of back and forth. I just had a friend of mine comment on my review from last week. He just said too, Major, like, "Whoa, dude, you're talking this way and that way," and because that's how last week's story was going, it was like future, past, present, future, past, present, and even I was my head split. This is not about timey-wimey stuff, but we're still getting, okay, we've got a plan. We're going to take the bad guy. No, the bad guy said, no, I've got you guys. And this all, give and take. And if you don't do what I say, I'm going to blow you up. And says, well, you know what? We're going to blow you up. So let's just leave it there at that. Definitely, it's a must-see episode. Go see it wherever you go see it. If you go watch it on TV, or if you check it out online, or Hulu, Netflix, wherever you go. Definitely a must-see. As always, leave it to you guys. Have you seen the episode yet? Did you like it? Did you not like it? My video. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Don't forget, if you're new here, or if you're not, but you've been coming back, don't forget, hit subscribe. Support the channel. Hit notifications so you know when I'm posting. Like I said, I'm usually posting lately Fridays, Sundays. If a movie comes out, I'll post it then. We'll see you probably on Star Trek, which is coming up on Sunday. If anybody knows if we're going to be seeing Star Trek on Super Bowl Sunday, let me know in the comments down below. Leave your comments down below what you thought of the episode. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.